All right, the second question on this worksheet gives us hydrogen chloride, which is a compound, plus calcium, which is just an element. Anytime we have a compound plus an element or an element plus a compound, we know that that is going to be single replacement. So for this one, when you do single replacement reactions, what you always have to check is that the single element needs to be higher on the activity series than the element that it is replacing. So if you look at your activity series, calcium is the element that's by itself. It is higher than hydrogen on the metal side, so this reaction will take place. What we need to do then is we need to first write out our reactants. Hydrogen chloride is a compound, so we need to take the charge of hydrogen as +1, charge of chlorine is -1, crisscross and get HCl. Then calcium is a single element by itself. Remember those single elements, we always need to check if they are diatomic, which calcium is not. So calcium is not going to get a 2. When we do these single replacement reactions, remember that calcium is going to replace hydrogen, and then hydrogen is going to be on its own. So on the product side, you have hydrogen by itself. We're going to check if that's diatomic, and it is, so it gets a 2. Then for our compound, since calcium replaced hydrogen, we are going to make a compound of calcium and chlorine. Calcium has a charge of +2, chlorine has a charge of -1 from the periodic table. So when we crisscross those, we're going to get CaCl2. Remember, none of the subscripts follow us from the reactant side, so you don't need to take any of those over. The very last thing we're going to do is balance. You have 2 hydrogens on the product side. You also have 2 chlorines. By putting a 2 in front of HCl, that is going to balance the equation. You only have 1 calcium on each side. Remember that single replacement reactions, these are the only reactions that you use the activity series. You do still have to crisscross all of your compounds like HCl and CaCl2, and you still need to check all of your single elements to see if they are diatomic. In this case, hydrogen was, that's why it got the subscript. Calcium was not, which is why it did not get a subscript.